Hello, this is Luis from PhoneArena and we're presenting you with the Alcatel OneTouch Pop 7. This is a budget 7-inch tablet that aims to bring decent performance and 3G connectivity at an accessible price. This tab is supposed to be the thinnest and lightest of its kind and also packs a dual-core CPU, an acceptable 1GB of RAM and a pair of cameras. So far so good, but does the rest of the package add up to an attractive offer? Let's find out. At launch, Alcatel claimed that the OneTouch Pop 7 is the thinnest, lightest 7-incher out there. The tablet measures 0.35 inches thin and 0.63 pounds in weight, and although this is a respectable achievement, the Nexus 7 is already thinner, while the upcoming Samsung Galaxy Tab 4 7.0 will be a bit lighter. In terms of design, the tablet doesn't stand out with elegance or anything special really. The all-plastic build doesn't deliver any surprises, and while there's nothing to outright love about it, there's nothing to frown at either. This is a solid little tablet with a good weight to it, but it's comfortable to hold with both one and two hands. You will hear it squeak a little though, and the back panel does give in a little when pressed on, but these are typical budget device problems. Display-wise, the OneTouch Pop 7 comes with the worst screen we've seen on a tablet recently. The TFT panel has a low resolution of 1024 by 600 pixels, with pixel density coming in at 170 ppi. This means that small objects don't look sharp and fine text cannot be read comfortably. The colors are all wrong. The display has a solid blue tint to it, and shades such as cyan and magenta are completely off. The viewing angles are also rather quirky, and the reflexive glass makes it almost impossible to see what's going on under direct sunlight. In fact, you may find it hard to read indoors if the room is illuminated by daylight. The Alcatel OneTouch Pop 7 runs Android 4.2.2 out of the box, which is a version more than a year old at this point. The tablet's UI is very light on modifications. It's pretty much stock Android with a blue tint thrown in the menus, the wallpapers and some widgets. Luckily, Alcatel has abstained from filling the tablet's limited storage with bloatware apps which you won't ever bother using. The OneTouch Pop 7 runs on a humble MediaTek chipset which has two Cortex-A7 cores clocked at 1.3 GHz. It relies on a trusty old Mali 400 GPU for graphics, and it has 1 GB of RAM memory on board. Storage-wise, there are 4 GB of memory, out of which there's 2 GB available for usage. While the tablet is not a powerhouse by any means, it will let you play games like Temple Run 2 and Dead Trigger 2 without a hitch. Alcatel's tab works fine for browsing, with sites rendering correctly and functions such as zooming in and out happening quickly. However, website loading became increasingly problematic beyond the 10th open tab. The tablet isn't capable of heavy-duty browsing and multitasking, but it doesn't underperform either. There are two cameras on the OneTouch Pop 7 and we don't have anything nice to say about either of them, except that they're there of course. The rear camera is a 2-megapixel snapper with no autofocus and no flash. There's also a 0.3 megapixel front-facing camera, which is of pretty poor quality, but it will suffice for video chatting. In terms of multimedia, the OneTouch Pop 7 plays the most popular video and audio formats out of the box, while audio sounds passable through the tablet's lone speaker. The display's poor colors and viewing angles, on the other hand, don't make for an immersive viewing experience. Alcatel's tablet lasted for 6 hours and 4 minutes in our battery test. This is a good result for the Pop 7's battery, considering slates in this class are accustomed to bigger battery sizes overall. Perhaps the decent battery life can be owed to the tablet's lightweight software and frugal processor. So, what's our final opinion about the Alcatel OneTouch Pop 7? With all things considered, the display is the real deal breaker here. It's neither accurate nor enjoyable to use. Otherwise, the OneTouch Pop 7 is an okay budget tablet that has good build quality, it has reasonable specs, and doesn't feel unpleasant to use. Most importantly, it's 3G connected, and if you're looking for an affordable 3G slate, there aren't many other options. Still, unless you're out of cash and totally desperate for a tablet, we suggest you save a bit more and buy something better.